Heavenly Father, thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity to share our experience, strength, and hope. I pray that the meditation of our hearts and the words of our mouth be ever pleasing in your sight, but also as many times you've taken this and these podcasts to go to different countries, different states, different people that need to hear them. We got a powerful story coming. I pray that you let it fall on the ears that need to hear it, and that you bless us as we say. It's in Christ we pray. Amen.
Amen. Let's go to work.
Welcome back to Recovery Unfiltered. It's Rob and Larry in your ear again. We don't need letters before or after our names. Just two drunks with a lot on our brains. Sit back, relax, let's carry the load. We've walked that dark and winding road. We're just two alcoholics with a lot to say. This is
Welcome back, Robbie.
Robbie, I've heard that since I was a kid.
Rob Don.
Rob Don.
Hey, that last one was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was an ass kicker, bud.
That was a good one.
So this is our second episode that we're recording. We just recorded a little bit ago, but it aired last week. If you didn't get a chance to hear last week, go back, because we had Matt Handy from My Last Relapse on, and then Stanton, who had his 1 year, and then we gave you your 15 year. That was a fun one. And I was excited about that one. We're doing two big ones today. We have another one. We got Jimmy K. And your name again? I'm sorry. Bronwyn. So I haven't had a chance to meet Bronwyn. I have listened to Jimmy K. I have seen him in the rooms, and we have another great one today. So I am going to let you introduce yourself and let you go at it. So what'll happen is that Rob and I will kind of just bounce back and forth. But this is your guys' show, right?
Right.
I mean, this is your guys' show.
Well, I get to talk about me. That's one of my favorite.
That's the
one of my
best.
favorite
That's the
subjects.
best
Talk
one.
about my wife. She's another one of my favorite subjects.
Now, how long have you guys been together now?
We have been together now for 18 years.
Wow.
We met in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. The very first time I seen her was at a Tracy Fellowship meeting in California. That's right.
She had an orange mohawk.
I mean,
How did you wear that mohawk? I hear you talk about the mohawk.
Oh,
You
he
must
did.
have had that
He
thing
always
for a
had.
while.
You never knew what Jim was going to show up like. It was always different, and he's thinned out. I mean, he's ever changing.
That's right. I
Ever
had the
evolving.
mohawk for about 9 months in my first year of sobriety, and I was a little snap crackle poppy,
Okay.
I was chewing my ear off sitting in the meetings, the mohawk only lasted about 9 months, and then I kind of slipped and kind of trimmed it up and tried to go a little bit professional. You know how it goes.
Yeah, you start changing a little bit.
Grew up a bit.
Right.
Yeah, we walked in the rooms and started growing up just a smidge.
Yeah. Don't grow up too much, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, no.
Oh, don't worry.
I had somebody, a kid at work, make a terrible observation of me the other day, and it's been bouncing around in my mind a little bit. He's like, "You had to grow up when you were 18, and now that you're old and your kids are finished, you can be a kid again."
Right,
Literally,
right.
that is literally the definition of what I was going through. And he read me like a book. I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
It is
very much. I
definitely
appreciate that.
fun to watch you come into the room every time. And you mostly come to the birthday meetings on Friday nights at primaries when I
Yeah,
normally
yeah.
see you. And you actually spoke this last one, which is when I asked you to come on the podcast. And it's just always fun to see Jimmy in the rooms because it just bounces everywhere. And he's got a light. You have a light to you that is fun.
The energy is something I like to talk about. The energy that we bring with us when we go places is definitely one of those things that is integral to Alcoholics Anonymous, and the friendliness and the happiness and that stuff is.
It's what attracted
comes
me
with
to
me.
him, right? I mean,
Same here. Yeah, you got that stuff too.
Yeah, I was in a kind of a bloom and goom kind of then I saw him come bouncing into the rooms, and Jay was sponsoring me at the time, and I had to get out of that. I love the man to death, but he's done his time, right? He's done his time, but he was doing it. He was giving a run at it. And when I saw this numbnut come bouncing into the room, I'm like, I don't know where that guy's getting that energy from, but I'm gonna grab a hold of some of it.
I remember his 5-year birthday when I came. That was one of my first things at Primary Purpose, because I moved here about 10 years ago into Modesto. And I remember you came in and you started talking about the big book, and I was like, "Ooh, this kid, he's got
thumper.
He's got it.
thumper.
He's got it."
That came from Jay too.
That's right.
But that's when Jimmy tells a story. A lot of stuff he did, I've done, in the same age. But he's got that, And I said this at the last podcast, maybe, and it's not. I'm not a woman, so I can't share a woman's experience. But there's a lot of women that in Bronwyn, I've heard her story, beautiful story, powerful. However, I try to listen to everybody. But there are certain men, when they speak, you're one of them, I hear them. I try to listen, but I can hear them. I can hear them.
Yeah.
It's just
And
different.
that's the energy I kind of try to bring. That's what I'm
Yeah.
doing. That's
Mhm.
You do
I'm
it.
speaking from a honest platform. You know, when we come in here, we're like, you know, we come in here, we feel all low and stuff, but that's not actually the truth. When we come in here, we're ultra alcoholics. We're level. That levels the playing field.
Yep.
Take my measuring stick away. I don't have to measure anybody else out in life. I am an alcoholic, and we are all the same here. I like that. Makes it
Absolutely.
easy for us.
Makes it fun, right? That was the thing for me is I realized how big my ego was when I was in
God.
when I was in rehab,
It's
right?
bad.
I realized how big my ego was. And when I was like, how am I going to walk in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous with this big ass ego, right? And one of the things that what you just said is everybody in there is alcoholics.
That's right.
We're all the same.
Yeah, that's right.
It's what made me, it's what gave me the okay to walk into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous. Now, what changed for me is the love that I felt when I got in there, right? The love that I felt when I walked in there was just, well, I don't deserve this. Why you people are fucking weird? Why is everybody loving on me like this? Stop, right? Michael and Dawson and those guys just hugging on you and loving on you. They don't even know who I am.
Dawson.
But usually because when we come in, we're just whipping the shit out of
Right.
ourselves, you know, and we need a little bit of that.
All right.
And there's plenty of ass kickings to come in.
Did
but-
we change you?
Oh God!
Did we change you?
Yeah.
You don't seem like a doom and gloom guy now. I'm just saying.
No,
you know.
I was no
Yeah.
God. Within a minute,
Mm.
my shell came off. My armor went off. I was completely vulnerable in a matter of
Right side.
moments. But I would right size. But I was like I've heard people say I was a raw nerve. I needed to be healed, and I knew that book right there was going to do it because I had a small smidget of it as I was coming out of Maynard's. You know, Chris Lytle, he gave me just enough of it to go, I want more of whatever's in that book. I want every ounce of it. And I wanted it. And I knew, you know, Jay was giving it to me little by little. But he ripped back my head and poured it in. And I loved it. And that's what I needed.
Yeah,
That's what I needed.
Yeah, a flood of alcohol.
Yes, I needed it.
Yeah, God, that's why I hung up. So when I got here, I wasn't a raw nerve. I was feral.
Okay.
Like I had been living on the streets
Yeah.
selling
Oh, yeah.
drugs.
Right.
I was
Right.
feral. I could not go one sentence without cussing. I had pushed everyone and everything out of my life so that I could drink and use. It was a tragedy. This is kind of how I described it when I got here. And I hated myself so much that like I was, you know, psychotic.
Right,
I had the psychosis going, you know, I was telling myself that I was a horrible person, all of that stuff that you just said.
Right.
It was growing through my brain loud. It was so loud that I thought I was like, hey, can you hear this?
Yeah.
Are you guys hearing this? Because listen, this is loud, man. This is awful right here.
Where did
And,
you grow up at?
I grew up in Bakersfield, California,
Okay.
and all over down south.
Okay.
So I moved Bakersfield,
Parlor.
Tehachapi, San Diego, LA, Long Beach, Anaheim. I was actually born in Long Beach Memorial Hospital. I think that's and I think that's John Wayne Hospital.
Yep,
Or maybe
yep.
John Wayne
That's where
down
it's
there.
at now.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, I grew up all over the place down there. My mom was kind of a hippie gypser, so she
Okay.
kind of hippie gypsied around, you know, and she drugged me with her. Once I got back with her, you know, because I grew up the first part of my life with my dad, so like I don't know, 4 or 5 years. I can't really.
You don't remember a lot of that.
Yeah, I remember a lot of it.
Do you?
Oh, totally. Yeah, I've got a really good memory, so I remember a lot of what happened, but now it has context.
Okay.
It used to be a giant dream,
Gotcha.
you know, kind of like, you know, all this weird stuff going on in my head about it. But now it has context and I know the people involved. Like I know my mom.
Okay.
Now, 40 years later, I know my real dad. I know him now because for 40 years I didn't know that I was introduced to him when I was 40. How old was I? I don't know, 42, 43.
How old are you now?
I am 51.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I'm 51 now. So it was yeah, so Pharaoh was definitely the whole, yeah, it was just out of my mind. And when my sponsor, you know, he said stuff that I really related to. He said like he said that his kids ran from him when he came home from work.
Wow.
You know, when I would walk through the door and my kids would be there, they would take off to the back door. They'd
Wow.
be listening at the back door. Because you know, I could
Checking to see what your
yeah,
temperature
that,
was.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the second that you know, I could come home and take them all to the park or take them out to eat, or I could take the front room TV and throw it out the window, you know. So I was like feral.
Yep. They were everywhere.
It's a good description of me.
Right. Right. So at Bakersfield, where did your drink? Now, let me ask this question: drinking alcohol or drugs first?
Both. It was.
Okay.
It was there. There was always on the table.
Okay.
Like my mom hung out with people who had that stuff on the table. The second that I realized that it changed me, I was after it.
Okay.
And I was young. So 8, 7, 8 years old, I started rolling and drinking. And my mom,
That's impressive.
My mom lived with bikers at that time. And I lived in a clubhouse. I was like, I remember this, I living in LA.
Okay.
And a big fight happened in the middle of the night. And I remember sitting out in the front yard with my, my pillowcase, just waiting for whatever's going to go down to go down. And I get in a car and I wake up and I'm in between a bunch of motorcycles. There's 10 motorcycles in the front room of this house. And I am one of 8 or 9 kids laying in between these motorcycles, sleeping in the middle of the night. And
that's how you grew up.
Oh.
Do you just a quick side note. Do you remember any of those kids?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I keep track of them on Facebook.
Do you really?
Yeah. Some of them I just watch from afar. There's no reason to engage, right?
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
No, for sure.
I remember the very first night I was there. Here's some gore for you. You ready?
Yeah.
Hit me.
All right. So the introduction to my uncle was I heard some crying and I seen a Doberman Pinscher. I'm sitting up it's like 3:00 in the morning. A Doberman Pinscher runs by.
How old are you?
I'm second grade. So the end
Wow.
of second grade.
Wow.
So Doberman Pinscher runs by. I'm in between motorcycles and I out the back door, and then a naked fat man runs by out the back door, and I get up and run after him to go see what's out there, and I'm sitting on the step and he shoots this dog in the head.
Wow.
A couple times. And when I'm sitting on the counter there, this is one nightmare I still have today. I turn around and there's this little girl behind me, a little black-haired girl, and she might be 3 or 4 years old, and she's got this huge gash in her face.
From the dog.
Piece of
From the
skin.
dog.
Yep. From the dog bit her. So apparently what had happened is she was sleeping with the dog and rolled over into it, and it woke up and bit her. And that was the end of that dog. And that was one of the
That's a lot for a second.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
and
crazy.
I was in this like peaceful household where I was going to school every day, and now all of a sudden I'm here.
Right. Right.
That's
You
right.
know, it's so funny is you hear these kind of traumas, right? And I tell my story, right? And then I hear this story, but we both ended up in the rooms of AA. You know what I mean? Mine ain't even
God
remotely,
bless.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
Not even remotely close to the trauma of that. But we both end up in the same rooms, and we talk about that all the time, the shipwreck, and we all end up on that island together, but yet we're all the same. Right?
But by the end of that part of my childhood, that kind of stuff wasn't trauma anymore. You know what I'm talking about?
Normal. It was normal.
It was normalized,
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Right. No,
which is
that-
why it's super easy for me to, somebody who's angry or whatever in the room, I'm like, hey, you can't behave like that in here. Let's walk on outside and see what you got. Just because I don't have that.
It takes all of us. Though.
That's right.
It takes all of us.
But there's
to
people
do
that, all experiences, there's people
Right.
that he can reach
Oh, for sure.
that we won't
Exactly
be able
right.
to. And that's why God's
Absolutely.
got us here.
That's right.
People pull up their sleeves and stuff that I've been talking to recently, and they're cut up and beat up and stuff, and I can really relate to that. It's easy for me to dig in my little bag of tricks and go, hey, check, this is what I used to do to myself.
And you do the same thing as an alcoholic talking to another alcoholic, right? We can talk about our alcoholic stories. You can talk about your growing up, your trauma of your life. What?
Oh, I was just gonna interject a little bit. Don't
go.
forget to talk about more. One came.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, I mean, tell us your story. I mean, I kind of went down a tangent, asked you where you were from, only because to me, it's important, right? Where people are from. I like that.
Well, I'm from Bakersfield. I graduated from South High, class of
Okay.
93.
Okay.
I did actually graduate. I lived all over Bakersfield. I went to a bunch of different middle schools and elementary schools down there. No, I went to a bunch of different elementary schools down there, and I went to one middle school and one high school down there.
Okay.
And I met, I was fairly popular. I was a heavy metal kid.
Okay.
That's hence the
80s. Yeah.
hence the heavy metal.
Right.
This is my my 12-year-old self would be very proud that I still wear heavy metal t-shirts.
yeah.
I'm telling you.
Nice.
That's right. So he would be like, yes, good
Yeah.
for you. But yeah, I grew up down south, and it was hot, and we did a lot of going to the canals and drinking and in the orchards and all of that kind of stuff. And it was LSD and methamphetamine and mushrooms and cocaine and Cisco. I don't know if you ever remember Cisco.
No, I don't.
Yeah. You don't remember Cisco?
No.
Yeah, Cisco used to come in 40 bottles until it poisoned a couple kids. And
Wow.
yeah, there was
Yeah.
like, they had some alcohol poisoning, so they started putting it in tinier little things.
No, it's one of the things I don't remember.
Yeah, Cisco. And then let's see, I graduated in 93. My wife or my girlfriend at the time was pregnant. And I had my first baby by that summer out of 93. So that was July of 93. I had my first baby, and I was in a factory working in a factory job that year in 93,
Right out of high school.
right
Yeah.
out of high school.
And I think this is the part of your story that's impressive to me, is that you've maintained that same
Job.
through everything, right? And I don't mean to get to the end of your story, but I just wanted to say that up front, is how impressive it was to hear you say that you're still doing the same thing,
That's right.
right? And I think that's impressive to me.
He
Yeah.
knows how to show up.
Yeah.
Right.
It was helpful when he came to the room.
So
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
didn't say is that before I had married, my mom was married 4 times, and the last one she married was this guy named,
Okay.
and he's badass. He's who
Right.
I have tattooed on my arm right here. And I he's like my dad.
Right.
He raised me. He taught me how to work. He taught me how to behave. He taught me how
How
to.
to be a man.
So no, I got to cut that out. He can tell me how to sell. He taught me how to, he taught me how to use drugs and be okay in parties and not be a maniac and not bring the cops to his house. That was one of the biggest laws of my childhood. I remember is do not
Bring the cops.
bring the cops to our house.
Right.
That was like, if you did that, which I did, showed up in handcuffs a couple times. And, yeah, if you did that, that was a bad day for you. And, in my childhood, I was super depressed, like you said. I
Right.
would drink and use. I had a bunch of people that I was giant, so I was 6'3", 300 pounds as a
Were you that-
freshman.
Well, okay. See, there you go. That's that's me. I was
That's
6'3", 190 coming out of 8th grade.
That's right.
Right. It was odd and awkward
Oh yeah,
to be that big. It was
was.
very awkward.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably awkward for you to be that small over there.
Race rider.
They probably thought you were still in kindergarten asking, what's this little guy doing here? This is high school, sir. Where's your parents at, little guy?
that's right. That's right.
Anyways.
Yeah, it was interesting that I always got called fat and stuff, but that really never bugged me because I was friendly. My
Right.
mom raised me around a bunch of women,
Okay.
and I had cousins, and I knew to ask them. I always noticed people's nails. I always
Okay.
noticed people's shoes and stuff. I
Right.
was already an artsy kid anyway.
Okay.
I had long blonde hair and blue eyes, and I was fat. I was 300 pounds, 6'2". That's fat.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, that's a big boy. And my coachie, go do it for your favorite coachie. I remember that guy, man. I'm like, why aren't you on the football team, Jimmy? You should do it for your favorite coachie. I'm like, oh my God, Stricker in my high school.
That's funny.
So no sports.
No sports. No, my sport was chasing the party.
Hi.
and
Bye.
And the girls.
stop. Yeah, and the girls. I chased.
Well,
a lot of girls.
obviously you had one pregnant.
Yeah, had one pregnant right out of high school.
Mm.
There were some others that I was stringing along also. My Aunt Lori was a real big involvement in my party life. I got to be an adult at her house,
Okay.
even at 13, 14, it was like, do you got any, you want any, blah, blah, blah. Can you get any, from very young age,
Age gap between the two of you?
my Aunt Lori.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big.
Okay.
Big.
All right.
She's
Mom's sister.
Mom-
Sister-in-law.
mom's sister-in-law.
Oh, wow. Okay.
One of the people that raised me.
One
My-
that should know better.
Yeah, my Aunt Candy, same thing.
Yeah.
I was an adult at her house. I could, whatever, let's have a barbecue, drink, do drugs, whatever. It was, it was normalized in my house,
And it's crazy though. If you think about that now, you'd be arrested for that shit now.
You'd have
They
been
would all
arrested
be
for that
arrested.
stuff back then.
Yeah.
well, that is
Yeah.
true. I guess
Yeah.
if you were
Yeah.
caught.
Yeah,
but
you would have been arrested
but
for
it,
that
to
stuff
me,
back then.
but thinking about it, I remember guys and people drinking and smoking with around their parents back when I was in high school. And I remember it. To me, I remember that like you remember now I didn't have I had a cousin that would give me alcohol anytime I wanted it.
Yeah, that's right.
But I remember going over to friends' house and their dads would be using right there and drinking, and you could drink in front of that and in front of them, and they didn't care. They didn't allow it at my house, but I could go to Buddy's house and as freshmen in high school, we could drink all day long as the parents were there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So that to me,
That's exactly how it was. Yep.
right.
Yeah.
But there was no drugs, obviously, but that's a difference.
That's right. Yeah.
So
there were lots of drugs in my story. So if we had them, the adults in our life would ask for them for sure. Hey, do you got any, whatever, and, but they were, now that I look back on it now, they're children. They were children,
Yep.
they were children having children. My mom was 18 when she had me.
Just like you.
Just like me. Yeah. So it only stands to reason that I would behave that way now. Yes. So, what else?
Mandy and the kids.
Oh yeah. Do you want the rest of the story? That's just there's so much of that to unpack. It's ridiculous. So that's just all war story though.
Yep.
But I got married right out of high school. I think it was that July in 93, and my wife and I got our first apartment. I think we had it before October. I think we moved in October in our very first apartment, and I was partying. It was just a regular on the weekend partying. I thought I had arrived. I was making money.
Yeah. You're a man.
$400 every week cash.
Right.
The rent back then was only $350 for a 2-bedroom apartment. What was that? 1993.
Right.
So
The good old days.
yeah, it wasn't bad at all. That's right.
Well,
Yeah, it was. It was.
I was at that time. I was in the Navy.
I worked graveyard.
Right.
I worked graveyard, so I went to work and I did my thing, and I'd come home, and me and my kid and my wife would go to the Sacramento River or the American River, and we'd plunk the kids down, just like I said,
Right.
Gene, plunk them down, and have our little drink and hang out and do that
Life
stuff.
was
And,
good.
Yeah,
You
life was
made
good.
it.
Yeah. So that job lasted about 4 years, and that's kind of what was the catalyst for my first debacle. Like, I made a really bad decision on a vacation.
Okay.
So I'm 23 or 24, and I go down to Bakersfield, and I decide to use methamphetamine the way I've never used it before. And there was only one, and I was ignorant back then, so we all used the same one.
Boy.
And then I ended up with liver disease behind that.
Ouch.
Yeah. So when I came back home, I collapsed at my job, and that was my first time being sick. And that is my shtick for my story. I get so sick. My hangovers take me to ICU.
Wow. Okay.
The mental ward.
Okay.
My hangovers take me
Extreme.
all the way down,
Yeah,
dying.
Yeah.
I didn't
Okay.
end up in jail because I was too sick to be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You went straight to the OR.
That's right.
So
Yeah. So they saved me that time. And of course they bring your family in. Hey, if he continues to drink like this, he is going to die. But I was able to stay sober for about 3 months. I was having my second daughter at the time.
Okay.
So that was like the third year I worked there, and was born. And was born. So let me say it on the podcast so they can hear it. And we're born in 93 and 96. And
that's pretty good because I can't remember that.
yeah, 93.
I have to
maybe
text them.
95. I wouldn't. Don't quote me on that.
And
Sorry.
they're super cool
Sorry.
now.
They are really cool.
They're
now.
all grown up and
Yeah.
doing it.
But I dragged them around.
Huh.
We moved. My wife was Mandy was an apartment manager, and
Okay.
she would move us from apartment to apartment to
Okay.
apartment, and we were poor. I mean, we struggled.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. 2 kids,
Right.
wife, little bucket to drive. It was.
But you
hard
were
to keep
making it.
Yeah, I was making it.
Never
I was
lost his job.
Never
Right.
lost my job
Right.
because on a graveyard shift, you can be up for 3 days and
It's normal.
go talk to your machine.
Right.
I mean, literally talk to your machine. Oh, you're gonna do this. It's gonna be fine. No, don't jam up here. No, you're gonna be fine right here. Don't jam up. No. Oh, mount the roll. Oh yeah, change the color. I mean, I was just out of my mind already. So
That's funny.
it is funny. And one of the worst decision I ever made was to move back to Bakersfield, and then I ran a machine down there, the exact same kind of machine I had. They had like unionized or something like that, so they shut the plant down and they took all of our equipment and moved it into a factory in Bakersfield.
So you just went back home.
Yeah, I just went back home.
Okay.
And it really took off there.
Wow.
Me and my wife started being really super. We weren't faithful to each other at all.
Were you using together though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah. We never hid it from each other.
She was
None of that
using
stuff.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we didn't know where each other was at.
Right.
I'm kind of one of those people who it doesn't matter whether you want me to go or not. I'm leaving.
There you go. Yeah.
You know, you can fight about it all you want, but you're going to be fighting by yourself.
Right.
So
I'm out.
Right. I'm going to go see this.
You can. This one back here will pretty much. This is what I'm going to do.
So you can jump on the Jimmy train if you want. If you want to go with me and bring the kids and everything, or you can argue about it. But the second you start arguing, I'm out. I'm done. I'm not doing this. So that happened a lot. You know, I was unfaithful, and it started mostly in Bakersfield and Sacramento. And then that relationship dissolved, and I had to move back. You know, I had to move back with my parents. My parents had moved up here to Sacramento. Then they moved to Stockton. So I moved back to Stockton, and I was on the government website, cal.gov, you know, trying to find a job in 1999. And Cal Sheets hit me up. They were like, hey, you can drive a roll truck. I'm like, yeah, I can drive a roll truck. Oh, yeah, I can drive a roll truck. So they gave me a job. You know, they made me come down there, and that's where I started. That's where I started running a corrugator. And a corrugator is a fairly lucrative career.
Okay.
You know? It's a huge paper machine. It's a couple blocks long. You know, there's lots of, yeah, it's literally a couple blocks long. The rolls are
like
huge.
what you see on a newspapers rolling through all
it's
that.
a specialty heavy equipment operator type situation.
All right.
And it's completely electronic. You know, all of the...
Has it always been, or was it more mechanical when you first started?
Yeah, it was more mechanical when I first started, but now it's completely electronic. Like
all automated
and stuff. So, did that. You can party with that, you know?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? You can,
it gets normal.
Yeah, you can party. Same thing. Graveyard. I did the first 9 years there on Graveyard, and I was awake I was awake the entire time.
There.
Yes. I was awake the whole time. And maybe the first 6 years, not 9. It was about 6 years I worked there. I was having they'll cut that out. I was having problems, and I decided it was a good idea to go behind my parents' house, and you know, I was having like serious mental problems. I wasn't staying at my house. I was staying at the park.
In a poncho.
In a poncho. I was like at Dad's Point, Pixie Woods. You know where Pixie Woods is?
Oh yeah.
In Stockton. So I was sitting out there in the middle of winter with the 357 between my legs and a fishing pole and my poncho.
Snap, crackle,
snap, crackle, popping. I was just doing the barrel rolls out there, acting stupid. I was acting foolish. I was.
Dude.
And
holding a job.
And holding my job.
That's
the whole time.
Crazy.
That's
never
crazy.
didn't show up.
Yeah. So they used to at my employment, they would sit a pallet of pallets all in front of the break room, and from the break room you could see all the way down the machine, which is big, it's long, and they would sit there and watch me while they ate their lunch.
Just entertainment.
You were
Watch
their
me in the
entertainment.
back, and I would.
You were
back
their
there,
entertainment.
just my hands in the air, flailing. I was
Good at his job.
Must have been good.
Really good.
Isn't that something we are?
good at my job.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that somebody loved me there. His name was Rick Bradford.
Okay.
I really love this guy. He asked me what was wrong several different times during that period of my life, and was
he one of us or just a concerned?
No, he was just concerned. You know, he had invested. They had sent me to Milwaukee to train for this machine, so they had invested a bunch of money in me. Like $200,000 they had invested in me.
He was a good man,
and he was solid. And I was good for about that first year, maybe first 9 months. I was good, and the second the money started rolling in, everything was paid. Man, it was like reins were off. I could party, and
you were single at this time.
No.
Oh, you were
yeah,
somewhere-
yes. I
yeah,
was
oh, yeah.
single for the first. I was single for about the first 9 months,
Okay.
but then I went and kidnapped my wife from Bakersfield. She had found some dude, and I went down there, and
You're gonna fix it,
Yeah.
put it all back together.
yeah, well, I was gonna fix it. So I showed up at her house. I come and get my kids. I get
Right.
her. I'm like, you guys are coming back with me, and she literally. I mean, now that I look at it, I like
A hostage.
Kidnap.
situation.
hostage situation there. I grabbed her. We all got in the car. Whatever dude she was with, I chased him off, and we went up, back to Sacramento, and like literally, I hostage situation there. And it took her about 3 years to finally get me the divorce papers from that little thing right there. I was living in Stockton, and I remember she had me served, and I felt really sorry for myself. That was one of my big deals at the end. I like to feel sorry for myself. Whoa, Jimmy, everything happens to me.
Poor me.
Poor me.
I mean,
So I decided it was a good idea to go slit my wrist in my parents' backyard. That was bad. It was bad, and my dad didn't know when he took me to the ER, and then I remember the look on his face when he figured it out.
They thought he fell off the roof.
He thought because I was laying, he kicked me. He's like, kicked me. I was laying in blood, and he kicked me. He's like, "Are you, what happened?" And I just got up, and he just handed me a big towel, and I wrapped it, got in the car, took me to the ER, and when he was coming out, I could see his face. He was just so disappointed in me. He was just.
you still see that face too.
Yeah,
That's brutal.
he's like, "What are you doing, you wang?"
Yeah.
So, off to the ER. That was like the first. I went to the ER, and then I went to the OR because I popped my tendon and stuff here, and I went to St. Joe's in Stockton, California. St. Joe's, and I was there.
California Street.
Yeah, California Street. Oh hell yeah! I ran all over California Street when I was in Stockton. It was fun. Right behind the DMV. Oh, what a place to party. So I get to the mental institution, which is what it was, and that's the first time Rick Bradford. I said all of that to say that's the first time Rick Bradford goes, "What?" I'm on the phone with him, and he goes, "What the is wrong with you? Why can't you? Get it together?" And I told him what was wrong. Is I'm on meth.
So you came clean to him right
yeah,
there?
right then. Right.
sent
I was
he sent
3
you-
years. 3 years in. It was 2000.
Just so you know,
2003.
you don't have to clean up your language on this one.
Oh, okay.
No.
Fantastic.
Yo,
It's recovery
I will
unfiltered.
remember that.
And it's, in fact,
Literally.
Yeah,
Katie
literally.
gets mad at me because she says I reach my fuck quotas.
Oh, okay. Hey, my wife does the same thing. Brahman. Yeah, she has that same thing.
Yeah.
You've reached your fuck quota.
So I tell him, and he's like, well, we're going to send you to rehab. We're going to go ahead and send you to rehab. So I went to
Company
River.
did.
Yeah, the
Okay.
company. We're going to pay
Wow.
for your rehab. River City Recovery. We're going to send you to
Awesome.
a 30-day outpatient program. I remember, you want your job, you do not drink anymore. That's what he said. And I was like, well, white knuckle this bitch. Let's do this. Right.
This is
So
03.
Yeah. 2003.
Okay.
So that's the timeline. That was the very first time I heard anybody talk about the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. I remember this big old giant biker guy. And I remember he was big giant. I'm 6'3",
Right.
300, then 325. I'm a big guy. And this guy, Alan, he stood way over me, giant biker. He was like 7'1", and he would grab the big book, and he would slap it. "You got to admit the fact you're alcoholic. That's where we start here." And he's like, there's a bunch of us there, I'm mixed in with prisoners from, from Folsom and everybody, that's kind of where it was. It was up by Sacramento. And, you got to admit the fact. So I did, I thought about it. I read the first little part of the book. I read the doctor's opinion. I would read the fifth step in the meetings. We had 3 meetings a day. I was the cook. I got to go and cook and be in the kitchen. So I got to wake up at 5 a.m. because I always have to find a job because I'm friggin' neurotic. I mean,
Right.
like, literally, I have
I'm
to
the
find
same
something
way.
to do.
I gotta find something
Like
to do.
literally, I
Right.
jump up out of bed. I get there. I peel the potatoes, make the hash browns, do all the stuff. So I get to be within that
Mhm.
little community. And I did. I admitted that I was an alcoholic there, for sure.
But what about so you said you admitted, where were you at with
I wholeheartedly
everything?
wrote it on my
Right.
heart that I was an
Okay.
alcoholic.
And addict and
And the whole
thing.
9 yards.
Okay.
The whole 9 yards. And I remember when I got out of there, I was seeing some lady, and I had all of her kids living with me and stuff, and I I was so mad at myself for being an alcoholic.
Hmm.
You know, like when I would look at myself in the mirror,
Right. Oh, I know that feeling.
I would
Oh,
be
well.
like, "You're a fucking alcoholic, you idiot! What are you doing?" You know. So what happened was, now I know now, since I've done a 4-step and some stuff, work on that, is that I actually admitted I was an alcoholic, but I resented it.
Yep.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I was full on 100% unadulterated resentment. Just
At yourself.
hate it. And I just hated that about me. I couldn't drink normally. Of course not. You would never. Every time I put alcohol in my body, there was no guarantee.
Oh yeah.
Never. I was apparently, now that I look back now, I was allergic from the very beginning.
Yep.
Like, I never knew if I was going to jump off the roof. I never knew if I was going to end up in somebody else's house. I never knew if I was going to crash in a car. I never knew if I was going to get into and all kinds of other creepy situations that I'm not describing in this podcast.
No,
because I'm just not going to do that to myself, right?
Right.
And all kinds of weird shit that I did, and I'm so grateful that now I know that was the catalyst. Is that I hated myself because I couldn't just, like my teetotaling, my teetotaling, and everybody else.
He was mad at everyone that they could drink and he couldn't.
Yeah,
so he'd be at all the parties and
so I stayed sober on
family.
that thing when my boss telling me, you stay sober, you're losing your flipping job. I stayed sober on that for a year and 3 months.
Just white knuckle.
White knuckling it. About 3 months in, I kind of gave up. I mean, about a year in, I gave up, and then 3 months I was white knuckling it. You know, I had been collecting all of the stuff that I like to do.
Still sober, just
still sober.
But stop the meetings.
I had this
and
thing in my mind.
Yeah.
Man, I don't even know. I had this thing in my mind I couldn't do without being high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I had this thing in my mind that I couldn't do it without being high, and it was creepy.
Okay.
You know, right?
All right.
It was,
It's okay. Professional girls.
Yeah. So I planned this thing. They had this little convention going on in Sacramento, and I hadn't drank or used or anything in a year and 3 months. It was a long time. The longest time I had been sober since I was
8.
Second grade.
Yeah.
8 since I was 8.
I remember this.
Yeah. So it was the longest I had been sober since I was 8, and so I go to do this thing, and I have a couple 8 balls, a couple different, I have a bag of rigs, bottle of vodka. I remember I went and bought the big bottle of Grey Goose.
You're going to do it.
I'm doing it. I'm done. I'm done staying sober. I've been sober for this is I have a nice motel room up there where that's right. Yeah, that's kind of like that's right. I was like
it was an event.
It was an event, so I shoot on up there and to Sacramento, right there off of Fair Oaks Boulevard, and that night, man, it wasn't even 8 hours into it. I do my issue. I start drinking. I go down to the party, do this little party thing. Everybody says that there's this great bookstore, blah, 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 blah. I jump in the car.
Good idea.
Because half an 8 ball and a half a bottle of vodka, you should go driving.
Right.
That's exactly what you should do.
Play bumper car.
Yeah, that's right. So I had been driving like that for so long that
no big deal.
Yeah, if I got pulled over, hopefully the wind was blowing in my direction. Hopefully it was like, blowing in the window and out the other window. Here's my key. I could pull it off. But
never got arrested.
He never got arrested.
He never got arrested.
Driving my family around, driving my kids around, never got arrested.
That's all God.
That was God. That was God, for sure. For sure it was God. It was protecting me before I ever knew what it was.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can see that now looking back, But that night.
Bookstore?
Yeah, that night, head first into the bookstore. I was at the bookstore at 3:00 in the morning. I had a bad stomach ache. I had puked a bunch of blood before I went in there. So here's where it gets gory, right? It wasn't just a little bit of blood. It was like when I coughed, I could see it spray like Kill Bill.
Right.
Yeah. I was like, I could see it in the light.
It was coming out.
Shit.
Esophageal
Esophageal,
varices.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I had.
It was rupturing. His esophagus was rupturing.
That's right.
Just the veins.
Vessels. Yeah.
Yeah. So the back of so that's where the kid in the come on, help me out. Where do you go?
The ER.
No, not the ER. It was
OR.
it was not the OR. Come on.
Triage
ICU.
desk. Oh.
I see.
Yeah, so they put me in ICU once I passed out that night headfirst into a rack of magazines. Yeah, passed out headfirst into a rack of magazines, and they came and got me, and I went to UC Davis.
Okay.
So I get there, and I am can't move my hands, can't move my arms. They're trying to fix me and stuff, and I remember they're pumping blood into me. They have about 9 units of blood that they pump into me, all the saline and stuff. Tell me I'm dehydrated. Tell me that I'm on methamphetamine. I'm like, I already knew that. I already knew that. Yes, I'm on methamphetamine. I think that was one of the times I was honest with them, because I ended up in the hospital a bunch more times. So I was like, this kid, he's like, I can't stop the bleeding in your throat. And he's this little young, I was just talking about this the other day. He was this little young kid. Doctor.
Yeah.
And he's like, grabs the stuff from a tray. And he's got his hands like this. And he goes, I don't know if this is going to save you. I don't know if this is going to save you or not, but I have to do something. And because they were pumping it into me, and it was just still coming out. So he grabs this big glob of what tasted like super glue.
Right.
And just got on my chest, kind of got up kind of straddled me a little bit and jammed his fingers down my throat, just straight all the way back down my throat. And I can't do nothing
to stop the bleeding.
Like I'm laying there, not strapped down, and I can't get my hands up off the table to protect myself. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I want to get him off me, and I cannot. And he's just rubbing this up, and still to this day, every once in a while when I cough, I can still taste a little bit of what he called.
Isn't that something?
It is 20 years later. I can still taste a little bit of super glue. That's what it tastes like. I'm like, oh, geez, that was a little hard cough, like a little super glue there.
Right.
And
just a little reminder.
So
right.
All I can think about, he gets off of me. They finally fill me up, get all the vitamins back into me, or whatever they do, all of the stuff back into me. 9 units of blood, 9
That's
units of blood later.
Well, because when they rupture, it doesn't just come out; it goes down in your guts. It's just everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, I've been there. They're not quite that far, but yeah.
I'm laying in the gurney, and I can see my pants across the way. I know my hotel room keys in there. I know the thousands of dollars that I have is in there.
God damn, the way our
And
brains
the-
work.
and the baggies.
And the baggies.
Are in
and
the
the
pants.
rigs.
Yeah.
All right, because I wear, baggy bugle boys are like work pants. I always wear those. And all I can think about is what's in those pants. And the second that they are not watching me again, the second they're not coming in the room every 5 seconds.
Got no fingers down your throat.
No more fingers down my throat. The second that I do believe it was early morning sometime, like 3 o'clock, I yanked those IVs out of my arm. I got into those pants and I left. So I highly suggest that you don't ever do that, because Kaiser sent me the bill. It was one hell of a bill. I ended up having to pay that. They took it right out of my check. I had to pay for the whole thing. It was a huge bill. Fast forward, more of that.
Yeah, I'm
more
sure.
of that.
Yeah,
Relationships destroyed.
wasn't going to slow down.
Yeah, more of that.
Right.
Relationships destroyed. Family worried about me. I went one Christmas. I was trying to take the lights off my parents' house, and I'm out of it. I can't even stand up. I'm so weak.
Was your mom trying to talk with you at this time?
She was actively using and drinking.
Okay.
Then
All right.
also,
All right.
So
she's
my
still in
dad
it.
too.
Yeah, they're
And-
still in the middle of it with you.
I come down off the ladder from the house, and I'm ghost white as that monster right there. I am just completely ghost white. And she immediately calls the ambulance off to the ICU again. Kaiser's great. They fix you up. The ER was very not excited to see me. They put me in a room with Nurse Cratchit. She used me as a pin cushion.
Right.
She let everybody stick a bunch of needles in me. I had them in my back of my legs and the side of I had it all over me.
IVs?
And they were like little ports,
Okay.
like these little black ports with a little piece of tape over them. And I don't know what they were using them for, but they were using them on me. And it was horrible. And I couldn't protect myself because I was so weak.
Right. Right.
It was like so I lived in that demoralization of that
Right.
kind of stuff
Right.
for a long time because I couldn't protect myself. I was so weak. I get better. I left that place. 3 years later is when I stopped. And same thing, ICU visits, attempted suicides.
How many attempted suicides?
I'm going to say 3 attempted suicides because 2 of them were actual where I had to be hospitalized. And one of them was an OD in a hotel room in Stockton.
You did that on purpose.
Every last little bit I could fit in there
Okay.
all at once. It made all of my hands, all of the skin blistered up on my hands, on my feet. All of it just popped off. All of it just blistered. And I was there for 3 days in that hotel room.
All the time maintaining a job.
All the time maintaining a job.
That's the part that just incredible.
Amazing. It's
All
Running
the
a
time.
machine.
All the
Like
time.
fast
Running a
work.
machine.
Right.
All the time.
Right. Just incredible.
I remember one of my last
Go to
my-
JT's.
Yeah, to go to JT's. All right. So I go to I get into a fist fight with my girl. A bunch of kids, the whole thing, push them all out of my life. I don't need them anymore. So I end up crash land at my meth dealer's house in Manteca, California. And I'm above him. I'm helping him out.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
You're helping him.
I'm helping him.
Right.
I'm renting a room from him. I'm giving him $500. I'm filling his fridge with food, going to work still, doing my thing, and I'm out of it. I am crazy. This is when they put the little things to watch me work because I'm out there just flailing, just snap, crackle, popping.
Snap, crackle, pop.
Yeah, that's the only way I can describe it. I'm trying to chew my ear off sitting in a chair. I'm just out of my mind. I'm gone. And I'm going to this guy's house, and one more time I'm in the bathroom and I'm puking blood. And I caught myself in the mirror. I could see myself in the mirror, and had that little conversation with myself. God help me. I actually, yeah,
But no,
well,
but
it was-
no, but
it
no, but
wasn't
no.
just it wasn't
No.
just that. It wasn't just
911
that.
prayers, God, if you get me out of this one time, I'll
No,
promise I'll do this. This was not. This is
this is the
this
end.
is help.
This is the end.
This is a cry
help.
for help.
So what happened was not like I had a little bit of blood in the. I went to the toilet and I puked up like somebody poured a dishwasher thing full of liquid into the toilet of blood. And I got back, I wiped my mouth off, and I got back in my room, and I put my face in my hands, and I'm just like, God, help me, I'm gonna die. And there was a mirror right there, and I look over him, and I'm sunk in, I'm
Sucked up.
yeah, I'm
Skeleton.
I'm a 225-pound guy. I'm 280. So I'm sucked up. I guess God heard me. I think that now looking back on it, I can say it, and looking back on it, I can see that God was looking out for me right there.
He was just waiting.
Whatever that is to you guys,
Right.
because I believe in God my way, not your way.
No.
So whatever
with you.
whatever that power is, brought JT into my room, because now in my mind's eye, I see that guy. He's he's my meth dealer, but
Right.
he's backlit by light, and
In
he
this
looks
memory.
in this memory, and he looks down at me, and he's messed up. He's old. He's 57 years old then, right? He's 57. We've been up for months. I mean, literally, we've been awake for months and
Well.
drinking vodka and Kessler. That
Perfect.
Yeah, that was what we were doing. And the sweat. Yeah,
Oh.
we were just covered in
That
sweat.
place had to smell good.
Oh yeah, just all the time. And the people who came and went, whoa. I just think I'm bad. I mean, just really.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
there were some.
Like
there
a
was some.
Dr. Seuss
Can you
novel.
imagine
It
that?
was.
But can you
horrible.
imagine looking like that, puking up blood, and then still, but I'm not that guy.
Right.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
exactly what. Yeah, I'm
Looking
echelons. I really thought that I was
Yeah.
echelons above this guy, still with my head in my hands, praying to God to praying to whatever it is out there to save me. And I got my hands in my hands, and this guy, he looks at me, he looks down at me, and he goes, "We've
Hold-
been partying for months,
Holding the bottle.
holding the bottle,
With the belly and the
swaying back,
hernia.
and big old giant hernia
And
on,
his chonies.
dripping sweat, just wet, oily. You know what I'm talking about?
Oily.
Yeah.
And this is your burning bush.
Yeah. This is my burning bush right here.
And he says,
And he looks down at me and he goes, "Damn, Jimmy, you look like shit." And literally. And I'm like, I look up at him and he goes, the next things out of his mouth, I do believe was God inspired. He said, "Why don't you go back to Alcoholics Anonymous?" He knew me that year and 3 months
Okay.
that I had been,
Okay.
we had worked together. So he knew me that
Right.
year and 3 months. And he said, "Why don't you go back to Alcoholics Anonymous?" Literally, that I asked for help. Bam, right there, my Eskimo.
Uh-huh.
And he had some tweaker lady come and take me to Alcoholics Anonymous the next morning. And I walked through the doors of Alcoholics Anonymous for the first time with my hat in my hand.
What day?
April 28th, 2006. And it's
Wow.
been one hell of a journey since then. It was,
You know what's amazing is those meth heads and everybody in that place knew to get you to where you needed to go, right? And
Yeah.
that to me, and when you say, and I'm gonna just reverse this for a minute. You said that God spoke to you you said that. Could that have been the first time you actually heard God though?
It was my first honest prayer.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No,
My
no. I
first
get you.
honest prayer.
You were broken.
Yeah. Fuck. Help.
Yeah.
Help.
Oh yeah.
And
You
mean
know
it.
what I'm talking about?
No. Right.
That is still to this day. I have a one-word prayer.
Right.
Fuck. Fuck.
I don't have a problem with it.
I don't know about you.
I don't
but
have
that's that
agree.
is personally.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been times where I'll say it.
Yeah.
God,
He
right.
so my
He
God
also
knows.
has 9 prayer books that he reads every day, so it's not just a one-word prayer.
Oh, well.
no, I mean,
No,
I
but
get
that's
it.
the one I still have that
Well, you're
prayer.
right.
Like I still use "Dear God, offer myself to Thee."
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? I still use those prayers in my daily life, but I still have that.
Jimmy, and here's the fun part about it, right?
Keep that.
Right. Here's the fun
yeah,
part
that's
about
what-
it is that's my God as well.
Sometimes that's all I
right?
can get out.
Yes, and sometimes I have to.
And I don't believe it's
When
the
you-
word. I
when you're
believe
getting
it's
chemotherapy
the
and you're
emotion.
just
The
third time and-
emotion,
That's right.
the emotion
Sometimes
coming
that's all I
out.
can say.
But on the other side of that, my God speaks to me the same way I speak to him.
That's
You
right.
stupid fuck. I've tried to tell you multiple times, stop fucking
I
doing it.
sent you a boat and a helicopter.
Right. You stupid fucker. Right?
Smack.
But that's the way I have to learn.
That's
Right?
right.
I grew up with this soft, gentle God, and I don't need that.
That's not what I
I
need.
can't do it.
My God,
I can't.
He drives me to my knees,
Well, see,
and
but
then
then-
I change.
And obviously didn't respond to that, God.
No.
So he comes at us as we need it.
Right.
right.
And that's just that's
Jackass.
that's the difference between where I was getting my recovery from is the soft, when I first started with Jay, it was that soft, loving, and I'm like, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work for
Somebody
fucking
yell
me.
at me.
I needed to be kicked in the fucking head, and
That's
I
right.
needed to be pounded on, and
That's
I
right.
needed somebody to
Absolutely.
slit my throat,
I agree.
and I needed to be stepped
Somebody
on.
take stuff away from me.
Yes.
That's the best thing for humans.
I
Let me
needed-
threaten to take something away
Yeah,
from you.
I
All of a
need-
sudden, you're losing something that you need.
Mm.
You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
Oh, now God uses that against you. He's like, here, watch this.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not yours no more. Here it goes. Here it goes.
And that's how my
Oh,
ego
yeah.
got ripped.
That's right.
I mean, my ego got ripped from me by shit taken away from me, right? And I'm like, no, that's mine. No, it's not. It's not yours. It's not yours. I give it to you. I let you have it. I'm going to keep it,
That's right.
right? Now, God's given a lot of that stuff back to me over a period of time now, right? He's let me have possession of it a little bit. But
But
he'll-
again, before God gives you the desires of your
Yes.
heart, he's going to change your heart's desire.
yes,
But
yes,
Say that again.
Before God gives you the desires of your heart, he's going to change your heart's desire.
Oh.
yeah, so the material stuff wasn't.
I'm not talking about material.
But
Yeah.
so here's the deal:
Yeah.
the material stuff wasn't what I realized I was
No.
getting first.
No.
I was so hateful towards myself and
Right.
so hateful towards my family, and everybody had done me wrong. And poor
Right.
Jimmy, poor Jimmy, poor Jimmy. The very first thing that I got from Alcoholics Anonymous was this feeling that I was going to be okay, and that
Oh, yeah.
I loved the people that I thought had hurt me.
Right.
And like that first, all the way to my third step right there with Bob. I'll let him say hi, Bob. Thank
First-
you for saving
First
me.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Thank you for saving me.
Tell them about Jacqueline and Sean.
So I'm
It's just a good.
brand new, right? Brand new. 3 days. 3 days in. My sponsor's giving me a book.
Where you at? Where you going to meetings at?
I go to meetings
Is
at
it where-
Manteca,
basics.
back to
Back-
basics,
back to basics.
Manteca, California. I highly
And-
suggest it.
and Manteca
California,
Fellowship.
and Manteca Fellowship. And back then it was the Old Timer Fellowship Thursday night dinosaur meeting.
Was
at
Bruce
church.
Was Bruce there?
Yeah,
Big
Bruce.
there?
Yeah, oh yeah, Bruce was there. Yeah, you turned.
Aw.
Oh,
Oh, we were just looking at a picture of him
that's
yesterday.
right. All these people who saved my life, they loved me when I couldn't love myself. So I go to this birthday meeting. I'm like, oh, I don't even know what this is. I walk through the front door. I'm big
Orange
old giant
mohawk.
orange
He got
mohawk.
Piercings everywhere in his face.
I had baby pins stuck through my cheeks. I had pierced nose with a baby pen. My eyebrow. I used to have my
You're
eyebrow
looking the
pierced.
part.
I am
Snap, crackle,
Looking the
poppin'.
part.
snap, crackle, popping, and I had zero ability to stay still. Zero. I mean, just vibrating constantly. And I walked, and I was angry.
Right.
Like I was
Oh,
angry.
yeah,
I
yeah.
had been wronged.
Right.
You know, when I walked through, I had been wronged. They hadn't
Right.
shown me the mirror yet. You know, I had been wronged of Alcoholics Anonymous. And I walked to the end of that room, and it's full. It's packed. It's 100 people. I'm, 40 people, 50 people in there. And I walk to the back of that room and it parts like the fucking Red Sea. I mean, literally, like people like don't look at me. They don't think
we're going to catch
Yeah,
you.
He's
I'm
a
in a-
little scary looking.
I'm in a shirt. I'm in a shirt that says practice safe sex, go fuck yourself, you know?
Fuck yes.
And I walk to the back of the room and I'm like, well, none of these people are going to fucking talk to me. So I turned back around. I was going to go drink that night. Like literally
You walk out 'cause nobody said hi.
nobody said hi. Nobody entered.
Fuck
just-
you guys.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
right.
you guys.
And I started to walk out, and Sean G and Jacqueline chased me out.
Sean's awesome.
Shawnee G. Yeah.
He chased me out the door, and he asked me if I had a book, and he asked me if I had a God. He asked me if I had a sponsor. He asked me if I needed a cigarette, and fuck, I needed a cigarette. I needed. I puffed on that sucker and talked to him for a little bit, and he said, "Come back in. We're gonna eat and have a." And I heard Claude. The very 3 days, and I heard Claude work the steps backwards, and I didn't understand it then, but I know what he was talking about now. And he's talking about, well, I don't pray anymore. I don't work with others. I stopped going to meetings. So Claude was just
I love that when people
mountain,
say that. Right.
a mountain of sobriety, And he started saying that, and I really related it. And Lonnie was back then. Lonnie, he passed away since also, and boy.
Friend.
Boy, I don't think you should be talking about them drugs in this meeting. I'm like, fuck. Well, then where do I get to do that? But he changed his tune over the next year. He changed his tune, maybe because of me, because of how I shared.
Right. Doesn't matter what got me here.
That's right. Because it was vodka and methamphetamine and creepy places. I really loved creepy places. Was definitely one of the things that forced me back to the rooms.
Very glad I didn't go down that one.
Yeah. If I won't say it on the podcast, but if you ever want to know any of that, I will take you down memory lane, down Martin Luther King Boulevard Avenue with me, and California Street in Stockton and Wilson Way, and the hate. Ouch.
So you got sober, and then how long? So you got 20. You got right
20
on
years,
the
20 years.
right now.
April 28th, 2006. I got 20 years
In a row.
in a row.
That's
Yeah,
what's so
weekends and holidays. I did not use methamphetamine or do anything creepy. And really, I haven't done a whole lot of lying or any spiritual maladies
funny. Right.
for that entire time. Also, not too bad.
When was your obsession lifted?
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one. So, what we tell newcomers, right? Go home and pray.
Right.
Go home and pray.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So my first couple of prayer, that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, I don't even believe in God. Fuck you. I would here. You want to hear some irony?
Right.
I would have stood on a stack of Bibles and said there was no God.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I would have. So I get the thing from my sponsor. I go home and my very first prayers were, please God, let my ex-wife get hit by a bus.
Yep.
Yes, that was my very first one, and then let me die. That was the typical feel sorry for myself.
Well, you'd already done that 3 times.
Yeah.
So
Blubber,
Right.
snot bubbles going, crying, the whole 9 yards. No drugs or no alcohol in me. Nothing.
You just hated yourself.
Sober. I hated me.
Yeah.
And he asked me, and he goes, those are the biggest pity prayers. He asked me, I told him exactly how I was praying. He goes, those are the biggest pity prayers I think I've ever heard in my life. I want you to go home, and I want you to pray for the happiness and joyfulness and freeness that you want for yourself in your life. For your wife.
Page 552.
And I want you to pray. I want you to pray that you have the courage and the strength and the perseverance to work this program into your life on a daily basis to the best of your ability. And I know that sometimes that's not going to be very pretty. And I was like,
amen to that.
And I did. That's what I did. And it
How far in?
Not the obsession. That was
Right
3, 4, 5 days, maybe 5 days in.
Okay.
I got on my knees, and he goes, oh yeah, go home and ask for the obsession to be lifted. And I remember that one. That was a specific ask for this. So get on your knees next to your bed and ask for the obsession to be lifted. Now, the obsession with alcohol and drugs was lifted, but money, girls, and all the creepy shit that I was doing was still running through my brain.
Right.
That subsided after I worked the 4-step.
But that stuff didn't make your throat bleed. That stuff
That's
was
right.
okay.
That's right. That's exactly right. But I can burn my life down today.
No, yeah, for sure.
Behind lies.
No. Oh yeah.
Behind money.
Yep.
Behind.
Yep. Oh yeah. It happens that fast. It happens that fast, and it makes it easy for us. I think the reason why I asked that, Jimmy, is because that man sitting over there talks about the period. I was very fortunate that I had my obsession left in rehab. I felt it lift right off of me. Right. I felt that obsession leave right along with my spiritual awakening. I just, whatever this AA shit was, I wanted every ounce of it. Rip my forehead off, pour it in me. Pour it in. I wanted every bit of it because the more I was in it, the more serenity was in me.
That's right.
And I've said that on multiples of times, that peace and that serenity is better than any drug I've ever taken.
I agree.
You know, and to hear him talk about, now his obsession left, but how he struggled with
the isms and early sobriety.
Early sobriety, it just breaks my
the
heart.
devil would come at me at night. I called them night terrors in early sobriety before him because I didn't have spiritual awakening yet. I was in the process of, so I didn't have any drugs or alcohol. It was just me and the feelings in life and everything that just everything on me. It was not fun.
You didn't go through a lot of that.
So the realization of God didn't come to me for a while.
Okay.
It took all the way till about 9 months till I realized that what had been transpiring through working the steps, reading the book, and going to these meetings, it didn't take about 9 months for me to go. I was just coming up over a hill,
Okay.
and I watched some smoke flow into I was coming right there, just right coming.
Love it.
And I could just see all of the, and I just realized right then I was like, this is connected. And then of course the big realization, God's, well, that was just the beginning of that. And I was like, oh, this is all godly stuff, Yeah. It's the orchards and stuff. And then I was feeling particularly sorry for myself one day when I got the big tax bill, right? And I got this huge tax bill. And I was feeling particularly sorry for myself about 9 or 10 months in, and I'm praying the Serenity prayer in the back of my plant. I'm supposed to be this badass. I got these, sunglasses on. I'm supposed to be running this machine. I got all these guys. I'm just crying, just emotionally destroyed. And I look out the backside of the plant from the backside of my plant. You could see the little windmills on the Altamont, and you could see them out there. They were just spinning away, and I could see that the grass all the way up to the back of my plant was all, just kind of
peace. You felt it,
and then I looked up, and I look up, and there's like this steam coming off my machine. I run a hot machine. It's fed by steam, and it's coming off the machine, and I can see the wind had blown through and had made all of the steam, and I realized all at once, right then, that I hadn't been alone. That I had turned my back somewhere a long time ago, and that right then God was with me. And it changed my heart. Everything was half to this and half to that. It turned it to get to.
Right.
I get to live this life.
Yep.
I get to be here.
Right.
I get to have this lovely job, this avenue of supply that God has provided me with. Everything changed that day for me.
I love it.
And the application of that is endless.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's because this steps that we have here, this isn't just, it's the application of these steps that kick it in the ass. You know what I'm talking about? It's what changes your mind. It's what changes the world. It's what changes everything. The love of the steps is what changes stuff. It's amazing.
It's the whole, the step, it's everything that's in that book for me, right? That first 164, we read it in our men's group. We start front to back and go back and forth. And no matter how many times we read that, there's still something more that reaches out and grabs me even further into it, right?
But it's always been there. The fact that it's just that we've grown some spiritually, and we're able now to.
So is God.
Yeah.
God's always been there. It's just how we're letting.
I wasn't looking or listening.
The more
because I didn't like what he had to say.
The more he soaks in, the more peace and the more serenity.
But there's been times, Jimmy, I don't know how long ago it was. That'd be a few. I mean, we're talking maybe 6, 7, 8 years. You'd come into primary. Or maybe not even that long, but you were struggling with something. What do you do? You were growling, man. You were fucking. I was like waiting here because
I remember this.
And he was growling.
I bring my problems to Alcoholics Anonymous. When I'm unable to get through a difficulty, I talk it out in the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous.
And then what do you do as far as action?
It was.
Oh, okay.
So you'll have to take that name out. It was that one was just before I changed jobs. See, my wife here, she's nuts. She married a jobless guy in 2000. She literally married me when I had no job.
Just in between jobs.
But this was 2008 then, right?
No. This was 2000.
We've been together for 18 years, but we've only been married since 2021.
Since 2021. So in 2021,
While we were on our honeymoon, Jimmy left one job and got a new job.
that's right. Absolutely. That's exactly what happened. So that day I was supposed to go to the rehearsal or whatever. And I called in to call in, hey, I'm not going to be at work tonight, to go to my rehearsal Friday night. I was supposed to work graveyard, and the dude calls me back, leaves a bad message, and leaves me a text message. I take this as your resignation, is what he says.
After he's worked there for 20
years.
Wow.
I worked at that same spot.
And he wouldn't give him the night off for our rehearsal for our wedding.
Exactly right. Yep. Yeah, it is what it is. What I say. I made a plan. I was like, all right, well, I had already interviewed once for a job. The people who interviewed me were really keen on me.
Okay.
They liked what I had to say. They liked how I moved. They liked how I moved through the plant safely, because I was a safety guy, right? So, move through the plant safely. They watched me talk to people. I'm so shy, right?
No, you interact well.
I'm so shy, right? So that's how I am at work also. I really, once you take away what you think people are thinking, once you take that away, it lets you be who you want to be.
For sure.
That's once you, I don't, very rarely do I think of what is Bronwyn thinking of me? I don't like, what are my kids thinking? I don't think that stuff anymore. Literally I have worked that step. I do not think about what people work with. I took my measuring stick away. Everybody at my job is equal to me. Like when I walk into the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, I look straight in David's eyes. Straight into David's eyes, straight in my boss's eyes, straight into my plant manager's eyes without any, I have zero filter. They all know it. So, and I tell them just exactly what I believe is the truth, right? That's how I behave with my men too. That's how I'm a supervisor now. I'm part of the problem now. So I'm a supervisor now. So I try to bring that energy that I have in the rooms into my job, and it works well. Yeah. It works well. I have answers to problems that haven't even happened yet.
Good.
You know what I'm talking about? Because of Alcoholics Anonymous, because of the steps, because of that God that, not your God, my God.
For sure. No, I get it. That's your understanding.
But you know how primary is. I mean, it's great. I love it's a great fellowship. But when someone like Jimmy comes in, and I think you were 16, 17, 8 years sober, and just fucking growling.
That's right.
And they get to hear that.
That's right.
That is not
I remember that.
But you don't hear that was my first... But you always hear a lot of that at primary. But it was, and I loved it because I was trying to. I got my brothers. I'll puke on the shit, but I usually go to a meeting. Even if I'm going through something, I like to share my experience, strength, and hope with the newcomer. But but you're always real.
Yeah,
I loved it.
So that's what, when I come to the rooms of Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm not buttercupping it. You know what I'm talking about? I talk about the real stuff.
But then when you go, what actions do you take? Once you've done, you got it out?
Yeah, so what actions did I take was I did the work. So Alcoholics Anonymous has a lot of work to it.
Yeah, a lot of inventory.
Like inventory, prayer, sponsor, working with others. There's a lot of, it might as well just say at the beginning of the book, you're going to work your ass off. Or work is a fundamental spiritual principle that you have to do. Work, right? I mean, literally, in the Bible. In the Bible it says that, right?
You're not getting it through osmosis.
Yeah, you're not getting it through osmosis. You have to work towards those principles. You have to work towards applying this to your life every day. So I'm going to say the underlying principle of Alcoholics Anonymous is work. You just have to continue to work, right?
If you want the results, yes.
If you want the results, yeah.
If you want that freedom.
So that's what I do.
Freedom.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
right. So there's times when I can buttercup it, not do a whole lot, and there's times where I need to get into it, and that's what I do. Yeah. I like the second that I start feeling goofy, I have a sponsor. My sponsor knows me well. I see him once every couple of months, or I talk to him once every couple of months, or sometimes I'll talk to him every other week. And I've had 4 sponsors in my life. I've worked the steps thoroughly through the steps through, what are we talking here? Joe and Charlie.
Mm-hmm. I love Joe Charlie.
Out of that book with all of the, resentments and all the little, whatever book that's.
You ever use a little red book?
No, it's
the
like
rehab book.
Yeah, the rehab book. Okay. I've worked the steps out of that book. I've worked the steps with Joe and Charlie. I worked the steps out of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and I have also worked the steps out of the 12 and 12 of Alcoholics Anonymous. So I have worked the steps several different ways.
Thoroughly.
I know exactly, like right now I'm starting on my first step through the new book. What's the new book?
Basic
the
language.
plain
The plain
language.
language.
I don't have any opinion on that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read it, and I'll have an opinion when I'm done.
It's okay.
I'll have an opinion when I'm done. So I'm going to do that with my my book, my new book. I got it open. I'm going to do my first step out of it. I'm in the middle of the doctor's opinion on it right now. And I read it after I read my spiritual literature. And I read a bunch of spiritual literature.
Go ahead.
Tell the men, boys, what your sponsor told you about the old book, which really surprised me.
Oh,
The
yeah.
marked up book.
And he's like, that's all old behavior here. You got this marked up. This is all old behavior
Yeah,
here.
I was surprised.
Start a new book so that you have.
Start a new book.
Start
I
a new
have-
book so
I
that
have
you
about 7 of
have.
them. I was going to do that with.
I only have one.
So you.
But every year I was going to grab a new book.
But so he told Jimmy to get rid of that book that's got all the markings and the writings.
You
and
have my
everything.
anarchy
Just
sign on the
get
front of the
get
book.
a
You
new
know,
book, because it's been 18
Yeah.
years now. You need a
You know what I'm
fresh.
talking about?
Yeah.
I came in here, I was a maniac.
And
you know?
highlight
I'm
different
not
stuff.
afraid and all this crap, and it's all taped together and stuff. So that's kind of that's the start book. So now I have 2 other books that I'm reading. I have a big print one because I'm 51 years old and I read big print now.
That's how I started.
And,
That's how I started.
That's right. And I have started, and my underlining is now that I have my book and that book. When I look at it together, all of the definitions on my first book are like
Yeah,
written
yeah,
down
yeah,
the
yeah.
leafing
That's
of
what I
the
have
page, and I have this word underlined and the definition up there, and then I have this word underlined and the definition down there because I had to do it with the Webster dictionary.
I still
That
do
way-
it, right?
There wasn't a Google back when I was a
Yeah,
kid,
right.
and back when I started this. So he got me a dictionary and a big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. So that's how I started this. And I learned how to
Read.
all of the definition. I literally learned how to read here,
Right.
yeah, because I
Me too.
didn't read well. I read well enough to play Dungeons and Dragons.
Hmm.
You know,
And graduate high school.
I graduated high school.
Right.
I could barely write a coherent essay. So
I didn't know
it
what a
took me all the way
period.
till my senior year in high school to do the essay test, right?
I didn't know what a period or a comma
Yeah.
meant.
I don't.
I didn't. I never. Before I started in this, I would just read right past.
Yeah, I know all of it now.
This-
I'm very
this
well
taught me.
versed at it. I can write well. I can
Taught
read
you.
well.
It did.
Yeah.
Because if you read it like it's supposed to with the commas and the periods, it means a lot.
Jimmy pointed out something real, or Jimmy's first sponsor, is that a lot of the words that are in there are words that we think that we know what they mean. Do you know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
words like altruistic. Oh, I kind of thought I knew what that meant, or what love means, or
Yeah.
whatever. And to look them up, because you know what they are, you know what they mean in context of a sentence. But if you look them up, sometimes it's like, oh, wow.
You're surprised.
Yeah, there's so much more
They're
to that.
So my favorite definition that I ever looked up, and I still say it at meetings, is love. My definition of love when I got here was captivity. You were mine.
I can see that.
That was, you know what I'm talking
I
about?
can see that.
Hostage. Remember I told you I went
Right.
down and got that
Right.
girl and brought her up here, and like literally hostage was what my thought process was on a love. You did everything I said. I didn't have to do anything you said, right? But what what
Fun.
it actually turned out to be is this in the Webster's dictionary, it said an enthusiasm for. So that application, that one definition changed the way I felt about love. It made it applicable to everybody
Yes.
and everything. Like
Everything.
I have
Yep.
enthusiasm for life. I
Yes.
have enthusiasm for my wife. I have enthusiasm for my family. I have enthusiasm for humanity now.
Right.
When did that develop, right? I mean, Jesus,
You like people?
I'm cheering like that and that enthusiasm. That's why I have that. That's why I'm able to bring what you feel to the room.
For
Is
sure.
I'm cheering for people, whether you like me or not. I'm like, yeah, you come in here one day.
Kick its ass.
I don't care that you fucking
Right.
one day so your snap crackle popping. Fucking get over here. Just sit down right here. Have some sunflower seed, you fucking weirdo. Have some sunflower seed, you fucking weirdo. Let's get busy on this
Oh,
stuff.
that's
Did,
awesome.
did you pray? Did you? And then, like literally to this day, I shake newcomers' hands. I sit right next to them everywhere, not just
Right.
here. Not
No.
I go to meetings.
I could see
Tracy. I go to meetings Back to Basics. I go to meetings Stockton. I go to meetings. I've been to meetings
You get
all
out
over
a
the
lot.
world.
I would say you
I,
get out a lot.
I go to
Modesto.
meetings everywhere.
Do you
And,
have a home group?
I do.
Back
Yeah.
to basics.
My home group where I met where I meet for my sponsors and stuff is Primary Purpose.
Okay.
But for now, right now, I have
New beginnings.
New Beginnings.
New Beginnings.
Okay.
New Beginnings.
You just spoke for New Beginnings. didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At their 6th anniversary.
So I just spoke for Northside.
Were you
Yep.
there?
No, ma'am.
Or you spoke for? Well, I saw
was
you
doing
as
step
a
work.
primary.
I spoke at Northside one weekend on my birthday month, and then I spoke at
primary.
Purpose the next 3 weeks later, and it just sounded the same. It's the same thing, you know. It hasn't changed, you know. I can bring out the gory parts and say those. I can completely omit the gory part and just leave JT in it. Like I've said this story so many times now that I can say it to whatever crowd
right
might be in the fucking audience.
Right.
You know, I can go gory. I can go.
He can go 9th Street. He can go primary.
Well, and it's fun.
That's
The more
right.
more we tell our story, you're right, because we adapt to where we're telling our story.
I agree.
And the time frame. Hey, you got a 15-minute. Give you the 30,000
That's right.
view. You got an hour.
The 30,000 foot view. Yeah, I like that.
Well, you know, I speak up Maynard's about every 5 or 6 weeks. I'll speak up there, and I speak completely different up there. I talk about having a plan when you get out of there. I don't even tell them about my story.
That's right.
We don't even talk about
That's
mine.
right. This is how I ended up in rehab, and this is what you should be doing when you get out of here.
And what's your plan? Because
What's your plan?
if you think you're going to go back and get your wife, your kids, and everything else, that ain't gonna fucking plan.
Well, so here's one of the things that I like to tell people. I'm like, hey, so my first 6 months of Alcoholics Anonymous, I spent living with my methamphetamine dealer. I didn't just go to Alcoholics Anonymous and got a new job and got a new place. That's not how it worked. No. I stayed there for almost 6 months, and then me and him got into a fist fight in the front room, and that was it.
With him waking Jimmy up in the middle of the night. Come on, man.
This is how I moved out. I just got up. I got up off the ground because we had rolled around a little bit. I just grabbed all of my clothes out of the closet off the hangers, all of another set of clothes off the hangers, grabbed my phone and jumped into my car and left. That was it. Everything else.
You ever seen him again?
JT, yeah.
Do you?
Yeah, oh yeah.
6 months though. So if you think that you can't get sober because of
I'm
your
not
situation,
for sure.
Wife or no wife, job or no job, meth house or no meth house.
sober 6 months in the meth dealer's house.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he climbed into bed with me a couple times with a giant tray of, you know, crystal. Crystal. You know, we didn't get it from in bags. It would come on the cooking surface. Right. So he would bring it. It would be shards of glass, and he would bring it. He would roll it under my nose, you know, and I'd be like,
that'd be hard, but
in the middle of the night, I'd be like, this is, well, I knew in my heart of hearts that it wasn't right.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? That wasn't right.
That obsession left him.
Yeah, that obsession left me for that. And it saved me. You know, it saved me. And I gave that guy a ride to his bank so he could get money out of his trust fund for almost 2.5 years after that. I was of service to that guy.
And you started to say where he's at now?
I think he might have passed away.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think he might have passed away. I think what the story goes is that somebody found him catatonic in that house in his room.
Okay.
And he was diabetic already, or he was sick already, and he was already crazy just like me. I mean, he was as crazy or crazier, just like me. You know,
love you, JT.
We love you, JT. Thank you for saving my life, John Thaddeus. I appreciate that.
You can leave that in.
Talk about coming into your wife and learning the love that you had for your wife and learning to love again. Because
for Bronwyn,
yeah.
Oh, look at her over there. She's so cute. Look at her. She's been laughing the entire time. She knows all these stories. Well, I seen her at a Tracy Fellowship. And I was like, I've always liked tom girls.
Okay.
And she was in boots and a cowboy hat. And I'm like, ooh.
No cowboy hat.
Yeah, it was?
No cowboy hat.
Hey, it's his story.
I've never worn a cowboy hat. So I'm just saying.
Okay, boots and a hat.
And a truck.
Boots and a hat. You had to have
a baseball hat.
you had some kind of a hat on, and she was with this douche, this guy with his hat backwards. And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, I'm always thinking, you know. So I was like, I wonder if I could pull this off. And I was dating this lady named Athena, remember? And she had been out of the scene for a minute, and I was like, well, I introduced myself to her, and we started talking and hitting it off. She was very funny and cute, and she had a horse farm and stuff like that. And she invited me a couple times out there. One of our very first dates was horse breeding.
Oh, no shit.
So I don't know. I don't know how to do it.
Mare ovulating. I'm just saying.
Was he collecting or was he depositing?
He was holding the mare.
I was holding the mare. So I don't know if you've ever ridden a motorcycle really fast. Have you ever ridden a motorcycle really fast where you were just a little bit and you got that like that, right? I don't know if any of you have ever jumped out of an airplane or been on the side of a cliff where it was just like that. So I grabbed this mare and I
taught him how to
do instructions. Yeah, gave me the instructions on how to do this, and this giant, like 1,200, what is it, 2,600 pound,
20, it's 1,500.
1,500 pound stallion is like, I'm holding like this,
Yeah.
I got a piece of a face and a piece of an ear, and I'm waiting for it. This like up against the headboard here, and I'm waiting. This is like literally,
I'm handling the stallion.
yeah, she's handling the stallion, and it's primal. It's
Fuck yeah.
I mean,
It-
you
that
can
is-
smoke the.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's crazy to
Well, I got
watch.
used to it.
I've
I
seen
got used to it.
Yeah.
Like literally, I got like where I was good at it, and I got
Right.
good at it. Yeah, and I was
gonna
helping.
do a
That was
cowboy.
the first one. That was the first time, and I remember I mentioned at a meeting, I was like, and I think it was your Friday night or your Monday afternoon meeting or something like that. I was like, hey, man, I don't know what I'm going to do with my kids. I got them for
The summer.
I got them for the summer. I got divorced, so I needed to have my
Yep.
kids with me. So I got them for the summer,
But he's at work all day.
but I'm at work all day.
Uh,
because I'm working day shift. So I'm at work all day. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. And she goes, well, they can come out to the ranch. And this is vacation probably where she lives.
Right.
I mean, literally.
yeah,
Not
it's
for
100
her.
It's 100 acres, and there's a lake and quads, and
nice.
Yeah, they're not. It's not vacation for her,
No,
but
it's
for
work
me
for-
and the
yeah.
kids, it was like a vacation
Right,
place. There's a
right.
big giant lake, and lots of horses. So they go out there and they help a little bit.
he just drops them. I just said, bring them. Just
Yeah,
drop them
just
off.
bring them, drop them off, and they can either sit in the house
As
and
long
eat.
as they can take care of themselves. Like,
That's
I'm not
right.
babysitting.
No,
them.
but no wiping no
How old
ass.
were they?
They
They're
were
just
like
your daughters.
9 and 14, 9
Okay.
and 12.
9 and 12.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
9 and
good
12.
and very mature.
Yeah, well maintained.
I said if they can make themselves a sandwich, and
That's right. Yeah. So by the time I had exited my ex-wife and all of that that window of time was like 6 or 7 years.
Okay.
So she had the kids. We had gotten divorced. She had waived.
Parental right.
Yeah. No, not parental rights. She had waived
Alimony. is it?
alimony. Yeah. She had
Okay.
waived alimony. She'd waived
Child support.
in lieu of daycare.
Okay.
So anytime she said, "Hey, Jimmy, come down and get these kids," didn't matter what I was doing. Even if I was working, I dropped everything and left because I just bring them up to
Right.
me wherever I was living. That fight, I forgot to say that fight that it ended in JT's house.
Yeah.
I was like, I have all my stuff in my car. I go to a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. This shit you not. This is God right here. I go to a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous. I'm sitting there at a 6:00 meeting, and I go, well, I just got in a fist fight with my roommate, and I am homeless. I'm living out of my car, and this lady next to me, she turns right to me. Her name's Michelle. She's a good kid. She looks right at me and she goes, "Do you have any money?" And I was like, "Yeah, I got money." And she goes, "Well, you $200 down and $400 a month. You can live in one of my rooms at my trailer in Lathrop." I was like, "Really?
Got a room.
Sold. Got a
Super
room."
nice.
I was like, "Here you
Super
go, man."
nice lady.
Yeah, lucky me. I had
Right.
always kept a job. By the time I had that time, I was making really good money. Good money, and I whipped out the money and gave it to her. Made up my bed. I had a little mat on the floor for a couple of months until I could afford myself a
Nice.
new bed and stuff like that. It was
God,
great.
yeah.
Yeah, it was
God.
God.
One day.
God.
One day.
One
I
meeting.
didn't like. I left the house and had a place to sleep that night.
So
God plucked you out and put you where you needed to be.
tell them a little bit about what your life is like now, babe.
Oh, my life is fantastic now. It's I do a lot of traveling. I plan to travel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah. No.
We save money and we go to AA meetings all over the world. And I've been to meetings, this I can't even describe how this douchebag here, I'll just leave it at that, gets to go to England and gets to go see her family in Dublin and gets to go to Hawaii and I was just in all of these places over the last 10 years. I just get to travel all over the world because I am a giant 51-year-old, 14-year-old.
Right.
Like literally. I now, that kid who made that observation of me at work, he's like, "Well, you're just a giant kid now. You
Right.
have adult money." And
You're-
he's laughing. And he's like laughing.
And you have adult money.
And you have adult money now. And I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. I absolutely do." So I was able to a lifelong dream, the car, right?
Mhm.
That
That
I
thing's gorgeous.
that I haven't ever
Mhm.
like
Those got the hot rod here.
Yeah.
You got the Mach 1.
Yeah.
I
He
think
has
some-
it everywhere.
I have it everywhere. I drive that thing. It's got 80,000 miles on it. I drive it like the wheels are falling off on it. I love that thing.
That
man.
thing's
It's
beautiful.
so fun. And I never would have been able to do that without the program of Alcoholics
Right.
Anonymous and without Bronwyn helping me. So we helped out each other a lot. You know, when we first started, she came to me, 2008, they didn't make a whole lot of boxes.
Okay.
You remember 2008,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That was right around
That's-
the time we got together. She
that's
would
the
bring
dump.
food, like when I had
Right.
my kids, she would bring food over, and she wasn't making a lot of money either. She was a hand,
I
know,
was
so-
managing a ranch.
and managing a ranch, and she wouldn't make a whole lot of money, and she brought food over to help my kids and me out a couple different times, and
Nice.
same back and forth. I helped her through school so she could do whatever she wanted, and the program of Alcoholics Anonymous looks to me now like just help, get out there and work.
Just something beside
It
you.
work.
Something
There's that word
beside
again.
You.
Work.
Yeah.
Work. Yeah, it's get out there and work. I have
Work.
everything that comes to me is because I have done something that I didn't want to work.
Every
right?
time I do something for somebody else and not myself, it comes back to me in twice as good. And that's what makes me want to continue to do more for other people. Right. And that's
yeah. So do you know who Father Tom is?
no.
You know who Father Tom is?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you
So
got
Father Tom is look him up online. He's
one of us.
He's one of us, and he talks a lot about what it takes for you to get the heaven inside of you, right?
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? That's
Yeah.
He's a Catholic priest. He does talk shows and talks all over the place, and he
And AA talks. not-
AA talks.
Yeah.
AA talks. Yeah. So he's like, so I was at a conference, like I was a young people's guy, right?
Okay.
So I'm a young people's guy. My first 10 years, I was a GSR, a treasurer,
Okay.
of Sanjipa, McPhee
Okay.
and we brought a committee to Akipa, right? So we did the committee trying to get Akipa to come to Stockton and Akipa to try to come to Mexico or to Modesto. I was
Explain
involved.
what that is, though.
So that is
It's a long story.
yeah, that's so what it
The
is
young
young
people's
people's and
Alcoholics
Alcoholics
that's fine.
Anonymous.
Yeah,
So
okay.
I was a maniac and I needed a lot of energy. And these children, these kids, like literally, I've known people from 10 years old all the way to my age
Okay.
who are trying to stay sober,
Okay.
right? And we include lots of activities with anything we do.
Interesting. I just hadn't heard that before.
Yeah, so
go ahead.
Akipa and Sanjipa.
Okay.
So Akipa is All California Council of Alcoholics Anonymous, Young
Young
People's
People's.
Council of Alcoholics Anonymous, and
The base of it is
Alcoholics
Young
Anonymous.
People's of Alcoholics Anonymous.
yeah, Young People's of Alcoholics Anonymous, and Sanjipa is San Joaquin County Young People's.
What about
and
Mithy
Alcoholics-
Paul?
Mid Central Valley,
Okay.
Mid Central Valley Young People's and Alcoholics Anonymous, and we would meet at a central location in Stockton, and we would have these big meetings, and then we would like all get into a car at 6:00 at night and go over to the Bay and do the crazy meetings over there.
Wow.
They have a bunch
That'd be
of
fun as
I've heard,
shit.
yeah,
It
that would
is
be a blast.
so fun.
Well, you remember Sean G
that-
got sober at
Right.
17.
No,
So
I know.
I was dating Bronwyn at that time. She got to come and do some of the big meetings that we would have. We have these meetings next to these fireplaces and these huge
Wow.
churches, and
That sounds
with
cool.
the wild. We crossed paths
There was 3,000 people
Oh,
at
shit.
the New Year's Eve.
conference in 2015.
It was crazy.
It was
And all the kids
so-
are running around drinking coffee and smoking cloves and
Yeah, there was
doing the
it's-
beach balls, and it's like a place for young people.
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
really
and
great.
so when we would say, somebody would introduce themselves and go, "We love you, Earl." Earl Hightower.
Right.
"We love you, Earl." Lots and lots and lots, whole bunches.
Bunches.
Oh, and that's how we introduce everybody. And then you know how in the readings, you're not supposed, just sit with your hands in your pocket or listen to the readings. Now, on all the parts of the readings, there's all kinds of stuff
quips.
like little things you can interject in the meetings.
What's the point?
What's
Yeah,
the
that's
point?
The point is,
Yeah.
Point is, that's right,
Right.
absolutely. And man, it just made Alcoholics Anonymous come alive for me. It
Right.
wiped it on my soul, like
That
literally.
wiped it on my
It
soul.
wiped it on my
I like
soul.
that.
I literally was living in Alcoholics Anonymous. It's so fun, and to this day,
That was your lifestyle too, though. I mean, that craziness.
That's
That craziness.
I needed
fit
that
you.
intenseness.
Yes,
That's
that's
right.
what you needed.
absolutely.
Like I needed his energy when he come walking into the room. I mean,
She had the best energy. She was just chill, like anything. Because I was bouncing off the wall still when I met her. and I had this like I was static, like crackly energy.
Yeah.
And she would come in and it would just smooth over all of it was ridiculous how well we mingled when we first
I
got.
think I heard.
Where were you at in your sobriety when he was 2 years? You were 3 years in.
I got sober April 1st, 2003.
I'll be damned.
First time. There's just
Talking to the microphone.
Well, I'm gonna have to bring. Hold on. A
Oh
second.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to bring her back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
mean, we're an hour
yeah.
and
Yeah, that's right.
40 minutes into Jimmy, and so I'm gonna. Bring
I want to
you
come back. I want to come back because I want to retort when she says stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that-
No.
And you
That's
want to do this.
That's how it works.
Move
I
it
want a
along,
little.
babe.
I want a little back and forth. I want a little back and forth.
And I love it. I want more of this, right? I want more of this. I want to come back with your story
Anytime.
in this back and forth. And Jimmy, your enthusiasm is insane. And I've said it from the very beginning. That's why I wanted him here.
But think about one thing. I don't want to say poster child, 'cause that's
I'm not a poster child.
not at all. But if someone comes in, because I haven't listened to you. If someone comes in and says, what's in it for me? I know I got to quit drinking, Rob. What can this do for me? I'd say, I wouldn't tell them my story. I said, I want to introduce you to a man. Because this is what
All right.
this can do
for you.
All right.
Before we wrap it up, can I say
Please.
something?
Please.
So
I want you to get a little closer to that microphone.
This-
Yeah. Talking to the microphone.
this
baby.
guy is he's amazing.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like with all the wildness and all the craziness and all the fun, and it's all those things. Our relationship, all of it. We do lots of fun stuff. We travel all over the world, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, Jimmy is he's such a good guy. He gets up every morning and he drinks his coffee and he does all of his readings. He sits there and he says he gets his little books. He's got all these different books. Some of them are AA, some of them are other spiritual books, some of them are educational, and he reads little bits of them every day, and he goes to work every day, all day long, and it's hard, and he's really good at it, and he never complains. And he walks our little dog, and she's a very foo-foo dog. And he
my
walks her
God.
with a little pink leash with the flower.
And my
You know what I
finger out.
mean?
Just
My
With it-
finger out
with-
like this.
With
Oh,
his
boy.
heavy metal shirt
With my
and his
heavy metal-
Vans, and
That's
I've got
right.
a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel, so he's and he's at the park. But anyway, and he's a great husband, and he's a great worker, and we have the best time together. And it's been a long time that we've been together, and it's
Yeah, I want to have you
It's
back.
always fun.
'Cause I want to get. There's a love story there that I want to get. I want to get your story. Then
I'll
what
tell
you
the
guys-
love story.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fun, and this is the reason why. This is the reason why I do this. We do this podcast, right? It's for this right here.
Oh.
It's not for the mess that you went through, right? Not the mess. That
I
ain't
got
what-
more of that.
No, that's what I'm
I got
saying.
8 hours worth of mess,
Well,
man. And you
no-
want to hear some gory stuff?
So that
Oh,
we
yeah.
all
I got
have
you.
the messes. It's not the mess.
at her
that-
shaking her head at me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not,
that's not what they're looking for.
it's not the mess, and I heard somebody say that, a speaker say that very early on, and I'm not going to tell my drunkalog, right? And I'm like, thank God, because when I first
You still
started,
got to qualify yourself a little bit.
well, I mean, you
Then let's
do.
go.
Yeah, how are you
But-
gonna get any credibility if you
Also,
don't qualify
some-
yourself?
Also, some people's messes are much more interesting than others, like Earl Hightower.
Yeah, I love
Well,
it.
and I've heard that name somewhere before, but
Well, I sent that to you. Remember, because when it came out earlier this year, I sent it to all the boys. I'm going to this in September, no matter what I got to
that's
do.
right. That's where I've heard that. But anyway,
And now he's not going to be there, so
Maybe he will. Maybe he will.
Anyways, I like the story, the afterwards, the everything, because when you meet somebody in a room, you don't get their story, right? I mean, we had
Well,
Paul come in here.
when Jimmy shares, you get enough. I mean, even
Well,
in
no,
just
no.
a share, you get.
Well,
That's why I
there's
mean,
stuff that he said that you would have never gotten if you just sat in a room next to
Yeah.
him, right? Paul's another guy that came onto the air. He had some. I didn't know that he was the president of behavioral health. I'm like, I sat in a room next to that guy for 4 years and never knew, exactly what his story. And it's just amazing. And to hear these stories help other alcoholics, help people that are on the fence. They help people recover.
That's what I'm here for.
They help people recover.
That's why I'm talking
Right.
into this
And
microphone.
Thank you, Jimmy, for agreeing to this.
That is why.
Because that guy that's got 2 years or got 2 days, right? If I just put in the work, if I just do the work, that's it.
well, we were here, Jimmy. There's a difference. We were talking about on the last one before you guys got here. I'm working. I took a guy to a meeting. I had to carry him in. It's Thursday. Just shit, stank. But the time I went to jiu-jitsu practice on Friday till I got home, he'd back out again. They can't even walk, but somehow got in the car, went, alcoholic, drug addict.
That's right.
So on Saturday. So I was going to go pick him up on Saturday. And, I knew he wasn't going to, I'm not going to make it, Rob. I said, all right. I said, tell you what, brother, call me when you're ready to get sober, and I'm in for you. Well, I want to be sober. I want, no, you did not hear what the fuck I said. Call me when you're ready.
That's right.
And the difference between wanting to be and ready to be is life changing.
Right.
And there's no way I can get in there. He's got to find some more pain somewhere. But when you're ready,
All right.
I'm there.
I've told several people this recently. Just when you're ready to be done with your ideas and you need a new one.
Right.
I love it.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When you're sitting in front of have the same clothes on for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You're sitting in front of this meeting, acting the fool. This is where your decisions got you. I have some decisions that are hammered, hard hammered, gonna produce result decisions that you can make that is going to change your life.
If you're ready.
You got to let somebody else make decisions for you. For my sponsor, go home and pray. Okay. Yes, sir.
Jay told me go.
You know what?
Jay told me to do whatever the opposite was you were going to do. Do the exact opposite.
Oh, there you go.
When my willingness changes, though, and I've said it, I've heard, if he had told me to go stand on the freeway and pick, count every fifth car,
I've heard that before.
I would have done it. I would have fucking done it.
But you were ready. But you
This is
were
what's going to
ready.
keep you sober.
Whatever, right?
It's not for people who need it or want it.
Right.
It's for the people
Who do it.
Yeah, that's right.
But hold on, Jimmy. You said something. I want to clarify this. At that point, it wasn't no longer say sober.
What point?
Wasn't.
At what point?
When I said if he'd have told me to go stand on the freeway and count cars, I would have done it.
At what point? So
He's talking about himself.
I'm talking about myself.
So,
but I was already out of rehab, so I got that.
Okay, so out of rehab in a meeting
day
at this point.
Yeah,
that's
day
right.
21 or whatever at rehab. I got that willingness. I got.
Okay.
I want
There you
this. I want this.
All right.
Whatever this is, I want it. I want fistfuls of it.
I'm bathing in this stuff.
Right.
Well, willing to go to any length.
and
hook
and
a
it
brother
wasn't
up.
and it wasn't to stay it wasn't to stay sober for me anymore. I had no desire. What I wanted is more of that serenity
That's
in my
right.
life. I wanted that serenity because when I felt that little bit of peace come over me, buddy, that was a drug, and I wanted every ounce of it.
That get to.
Oh my
I
god!
get to go see my kids. I get to pay my wife the
Right.
money.
I
I
get
get to go to work.
Right.
God has given me all of this great stuff. I have this laundry list of gratitude.
Right.
And today, it's not even, there's no superficial shit on it. It's all the experience. It's all the
Yes.
emotions. It's all the relationships. That's what I'm thanking God for today, not the phone. And
Right. 20
that
years.
was started
Right.
like
20
that phone and material money and all this shit.
20 years into this, Jimmy, do you?
change?
20 years into this, Jimmy, does the river of gratitude ever hit you still?
Yeah,
Just-
cry.
thank you,
Totally.
brother.
Yeah.
thank you.
On my knees in the morning when
Right.
I touch
Just
hands with God.
overflowing with gratitude.
Oh yeah, it is
Oh, and
unbelievable.
it'll just hit me sometimes. I'll just be driving down the road and something will hit me and it'll just
Cry.
flood.
Yeah,
Just
that's
flood
right.
of gratitude.
That's right, absolutely.
And I got to call somebody.
That's what we're here for.
And that's what I normally end up calling her, right?
Yay, wife! Look at her go! Look at her go!
And because I'm just overwhelmed.
That's
with
right.
it, and I just get and I love to hear it, because we hear certain people with 20 years of sobriety go back out, right? Those people break my heart.
Me too.
And I love to hear the people with 20 years of sobriety that still
On-
get overfilled,
on fucking fire.
still on fire. Because it all goes back to how much do you want to be free? How much, right? That's what we say,
Well, how bad do you want it?
right? And you talk to
And you
anybody
have to make the decision,
Right.
like you said that you have
And
to
those
make the
people-
decision, and then
Take the action.
And
Work.
those-
Take the actions.
work,
So
that-
how much do you want to believe the people that came before you that
That-
had 20 years and went out, that stopped going to meetings, that
Yeah,
stopped talking to
thank
their
you.
sponsor,
Thank
that
you.
stopped
That's
reading the book,
right.
that stopped
Thank
sponsoring
you.
people, that stopped
That's right.
going to
Yeah, that's right.
conferences.
That's right.
Jimmy goes to meetings every day. You know why? Almost. Because he believes you.
that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Oh, I'm
believe
in.
you when you say that I was 20 years
I'm in.
sober and I stopped going to meetings
Right.
and I went out.
Right.
I'm in.
Right.
I'm in. You guys
I-
help me.
yeah.
I'm in.
Because you hear the big three. That's what I call the big three. They quit working with others, quit talking to God, and quit fellowshipping in the
Right.
meetings.
Do you know what Earl says?
What?
They should have a last 30-day chip.
Yeah. But anybody, hey,
30 days before you go out. Like the guys that
That
just
is
show up on their
fantastic.
birthday.
Hey,
The guys that just show up on their birthday.
They should give them to hard asses. Straight up. They should give them to douchebags like us, who don't care about hurting people's feelings. Just walk right up to them. Here, man, this is your last 30 days.
Ain't our last 30 days.
Out of here.
Like the guy that we were at the
Didn't I
meeting
see
one
you
day.
last April? I mean,
Like
Jesus
the guy that we were
Christ,
at the
get
meeting
fuck
and he
outta
was
here.
pouring coffee and he said out loud in the meeting, unprompted, he had like 2 years of sobriety and he said, I can't believe that you guys keep going out. I can't even believe that anybody like you relapse.
It wasn't a week later.
It was
how
like
long?
the next day.
It wasn't a
he
week.
relapsed and we never saw him again
Never-
and he died.
That's so sad.
That's what we
Well,
do.
it's sad.
So there are story after story about like that.
Right. No,
And
absolutely.
the rooms are filled with that.
Well,
story.
there's you go up there to Maynard's and they have on the wall they have names with crosses by them.
Well, it's like
right?
primary we do too.
They had a
The ones
guy-
with asterisks died,
That's right. They
didn't
had
die
a
sober.
Guy that left Maynard's went to the local bar and
Really?
left that bar and killed himself.
That's right.
Right the day he got out of Maynard.
That's what we do when we're
It's
not ready.
insane.
Asterisk
They have asterisk by their name.
Yeah.
means they weren't sober.
They died. They didn't die sober. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Look at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Betty.
No,
Sorry.
you're
Sorry,
good.
cute camera.
No,
And
cute camera.
and editor, thank you. I appreciate that. Sorry about that.
This is amazing. We're gonna have to schedule you guys back, right? We will schedule you guys back. This has been fun. I appreciate you, Jimmy.
Anything else?
Yeah. Anything you want to
No,
close?
stay sober out there.
Yeah, Katie?
Yes, I do. I
Here-
just,
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
are you an alcoholic?
No.
Oh, you're not. So you're an observer of me that is not alcoholic. Now I got my
Yes.
measuring stick out. Oh no, I need to say just
There's
the
no
right thing.
judgment here.
Okay, good.
I'm proud of all of you, actually.
Thank you.
So I like to tie up those loose ends.
Let's hear it.
What's your relationship with your girls?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And how old are they, Jimmy?
Okay, so it's 32 now.
Okay.
And 29, and they love me. I am a huge part of their life. I see them monthly. I have 4 grandchildren,
2 and 2.
The
2 and 2.
blessings that come with
2
it.
boys and girls, 1 boy and 1 girl, 1 boy and 1 girl. And my family, my mom and dad, since I know probably
Mhm.
they are sober now.
Mm.
That was
Awesome.
another
Both of-
question.
Both of them are sober now. About 5 years in, after my dad had lost his favorite drinking companion, because I mean, we would start together, and then he
Yeah.
would do his drinking thing, and I would do my drinking thing, and and yeah, he something
They just stopped.
happened.
They
Hold
didn't
on,
need to
something
go.
stopped at the some doctor told him something about his eyeball, and that was
his
it.
Diabetes.
Oh yeah, that's right, diabetes. He said you're gonna die if you keep drinking with the diabetes.
And he stopped drinking the next
The
day,
next
and he
day.
hasn't had a drink
and
since.
hasn't had a drink since.
and drank every day.
What a douche! How can you do that? What an asshole!
Certain type of hard drinker.
Didn't have to go and work spiritual principles and stuff.
No meetings.
Can
no
stop it.
nothing.
Can
And they're all
start-
happy
well,
as
Such a
fuck.
On
savage.
page 30, a certain
I
type of hard
aspire
drinker
to that.
can
Yeah.
stop or moderate.
Yeah, that's
Every
right.
day.
That's right.
Now, one day the doctor
There's a
said,
type of
"Stop
alcoholic who
drinking."
can quote the friggin' book like
Yeah.
it's just that's why that's
Oh,
who knows
Ron.
exactly what page and everything. I can quote it, but I don't know what page it's on.
Okay, Litera.
You got another one?
No, just kind of.
Thank you for
follow
that,
up.
because I wanted to know that too about the
Yeah.
girls.
The girls. The girls
yeah,
are
But
fabulous.
with your girls, I mean, of course, they probably know your journey and what you've been through.
Yep.
But are you ever concerned about them?
Great one.
I have
I mean,
oh,
this is
so
generational.
so I won't tell their story,
Sure.
but my youngest at 18 had to go sow her wild oats. I had to give her to God.
Okay.
That was one of the
got you.
things that maybe you might have saw me angry in the rooms, because for about 6 months I was pretty angry. She went to Utah and started doing, I knew what she was doing, and it didn't go well for her. And she called me back and said, "Dad, could I get a plane ticket?" And I'm like, "Fuck no, you can have a bus ticket. Show up at the Greyhound. And if you really want to come back, that's willingness, right?"
That's
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's
for
what
sure.
that's exactly what I wanted,
Yeah.
was some willingness. I think I don't know, I was 5 years sober or something like that.
And she
And
lived with
she
you for a year.
she went to the Greyhound bus station and got the bus ticket and
And
got
she came
on,
back.
and she came back home. Yes, she sure did.
She's all
And-
grown up now, though. She got married. She's got 2 babies. They own a business together, and they drive all the way up here. It's a 4-hour drive there and back to come to every one of Jimmy's birthday nights.
That's awesome.
The girls and the babies.
I'm sure I've seen him.
Awesome.
And they're
So where do they
freaking
live?
lovely.
Huh? They live in Visalia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I
good?
mean, those are, because I just like to,
Yeah,
if
wrap it
somebody
up.
always wonders,
They're
they're
normies.
They're
Like they might
normies.
smoke a little weed maybe every now and again, and they might have a
God
drink
bless.
here and there, but they're not.
Hey, check it out.
Yeah.
They have a seat. They have a seat. I have a seat right next to me for them, and
If
then I
ever they
have
need
other
it.
people who can talk
Right.
to them,
Mhm.
because I refuse. I'm
Right.
not talking to my kids
Yeah.
about alcoholics.
Do you
Anonymous.
sponsor at all?
Ah, yeah,
Oh yeah.
all
Good
over the
for
place.
you.
I have probably 20 in name, you know, where they go and say my name in a room.
They drop it. They
But
name
I
drop.
probably
Jimmy K's mine.
Yeah, Jimmy K is my sponsor. And then I probably have about 3 actively working. One's right now is incarcerated right now. He's doing some time for things he did.
Cleaning
and
up.
He's coming.
Well, hopefully he's doing
I'm-
work
I-
there too, though.
So I text all my guys, right?
Mhm.
So I do my little text thing and I do my just reporting. And so the wife of the dude that I'm talking about texted me back and said, "This is his, no, I know it's his phone, but he's not." And I'm like, I know, I'm a supportive of. I'm rooting for this guy.
Yeah.
You know, I
Nice.
want him to be. I'm like, do you mind if I continue to send him spiritual stuff? Because I get a lot of spiritual
Right.
stuff on the phone, right? So I send him spiritual stuff every day. She loves it. We text back and forth. So now I'm a part of that family.
Nice.
You know
Oh,
what I'm talking about?
but that's a big
And
one.
I'm
Sam.
rooting for him. The second he gets out, he's
Right.
I'm back to Northside, back to the steps, back to. We were hanging out there for a minute. And he was coming to my
He's
house.
got a little
you know?
bit of the street clean
Yeah,
with the jail time.
that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah,
Awesome.
his side of the
Awesome.
street is getting clean. Yes, thank you.
All right, Jimmy. Thank you so much. Let's say your name again.
Bronwyn.
Braun
Braun.
We never actually introduced her. but
We're
this is
not
lovely.
because we got
Bronwyn.
Ron Winder. We got into Jimmy's story too far, but you're going to come back. We're going to come back. Katie, take us out of here, baby.
We didn't get
Take
to
us out.
Jimmy. Jimmy's got a lot of
Thank
story.
you for listening to the
Oh, yeah.
Recovery Unfiltered podcast. If you'd like to reach out to us, please email us at recoveryunfilteredpodcast@gmail.com.